Hey everybody, John Gucci Foley here. Welcome back to the Impact videos. Today I want to talk about how do you rebuild trust. I get asked this question a lot when I present. We talk about the keys to trust, right? But here's the question. How do you rebuild it when it's broken? And what I've noticed is number one, you got to get back to the fundamentals, and small things matter in trust. I say that all the time. Trust is a two-way street. Small things matter. I think back to the story when I was flying jets off the Enterprise. It was back in the late 80s. And we were out there doing a practice sortie, and I had some live missiles on my jet, and we were doing some practice bombing, and we come off target, and my wingman says, "Hey, Gucci, you got a hung bomb." And I look out there, and sure enough, one of the bombs is hung, which, is no big deal, but you don't want to land back on the carrier with hung bombs because they don't like the bombs bouncing around the flight deck. But so you got to jettison it, and that's an emergency procedure. I decide that I'm in the middle of the Indian Ocean. There's no one around. I'm just going to puke this bomb off pretty quickly. I didn't back it up with my checklist, which was a mistake. I should have broke out my checklist. All of a sudden, I hit the emergency jettison button, and shoo, this missile comes flying off the jet, a live heat-seeking missile. I was like, come back. Actually, almost shot down one of my own teammates. Luckily, it didn't. It missed him and missed everybody. And big lesson there, okay? How do you think that carrier landing was that day, huh? But I remember when I landed, I walked up to my boss and said, "Boss, I blew it." And he said, "What happened?" I said, "Well, I had a hung bomb. I went to do the emergency jettison procedures. I didn't break out my checklist like I should have. And I got the switchology mixed up, and the missile went instead of the bomb." He goes, "Okay, you're grounded." Now, grounded and pilot don't go together, right? But it was the smartest thing that ever happened to me for a couple reasons. First off, we had, of course, a formal investigation, and I was, it's accountability. Just say, hey, this is what happened, and I made a mistake. And that was true. We learned that, yes, the switchology was the issue, but that wasn't the core issue. It took me 3 days to find out what really was the real problem. And that was I had gotten complacent. See, complacency was the real issue. I had gotten too comfortable carrying live ordnance when I really shouldn't be. So what are you too complacent about right now? Right now in the world today? Be careful, right? And have your backup and have your checklist. So the key to rebuilding trust when something like that happens is, number one, be open and honest. Okay, take accountability for it. Not only accountability, personal responsibility. Learn from it, and that's what's critical. You have to learn, okay? And we came up with fire break procedures that changed the entire Navy because of my mistake. But it wasn't because of the mistake, it was because of the corrective action that we discovered from the mistake. So you learn from it. And then above all else, you got to build yourself up, and you have to keep doing the small things well, keep doing the big things well. If you want to have trust and rebuild trust, you have to give trust, and you have to earn it every single day. That's the key on trust. Okay, I hope that helped. Don't be shooting any missiles out there. I've learned my lesson. And above all else, be kind, be grateful, be generous. Hey, we just started the High Performance Zone podcast where we go into stories like this, but it's more importantly, I interview people all around the world, the best in the best of sports, business, and life, and we unpack the gap between where you are and where you want to go, how to close that gap quickly. Sign up on iTunes, please tell your friends, and leave a review. Review helps us a ton. So the High Performance Zone in iTunes. Glad to be here. Gucci out.